And it's time now for our daily market summary here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. And we're being joined right now by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Jason, I know an overnight session, the grains were a little lower and they bounced back here throughout the day. Were they able to hold on to those gains?
Unfortunately, they were not able to hold on those gains. There's a lot of uncertainty with these Trump tariffs out there. We continue to hear different things on Brazilian weather, and actually, Brazilian weather, South American weather, is favorable for crop development. So that the Brazilian weather is definitely a bearish lean into the marketplace. But no, we started the day session a little bit lower here, then had a nice little rally throughout the day. Soybeans actually made a new contract high for this move. Just kind of based on the fact that soybean oil was going higher. Still a lot of talk that we're going to maybe see some renewable volume obligations from the EPA this week. That continues to put a bid into the soybean oil market. But as the day progressed, there was no new buyers coming into the soybean market, and we actually finished a little bit lower in soybeans here.
So a lot of things that seem supportive, but yet because of the fact that there's just no definitive answer on it, has really kind of just taken the air out of those little gains as much as we possibly can get, hasn't it?
For sure, nobody wants to take too big of a risk to the upside, but on the flip side, nobody wants to take too big of a risk or a position to the downside. So until more is known in the marketplace, it kind of feels like we might be in a little holding pattern here.
All right, and you said the Brazilian weather also played a part into it today. I mean, what did we hear in an update from there?
So Brazilian harvest is progressing along pretty good on beans here. So they're about 30% done. A while back, oh, maybe a week or so ago, it was maybe a little too wet, so that was slowing the bean harvest down. And more importantly, for the safrinha corn crop, they're now catching back up. They're about 50% planted here on that safrinha corn crop. They're a little bit behind the last year and the 5-year average, but they really need to get that corn planted, I would say, by March 1st to be able to pollinate before it gets really hot and dry in Brazil.
All right, and then moving over to the livestock side of things, I know earlier in the day cattle was not having a very good day. Hogs were able to be floating around a little bit higher. Is that how the day ended, or did something switch there as well?
Yeah, cattle did bounce off their lows a little bit here, but in the grand scheme of things, it's less than 1% of the total contract. But a little disappointed, especially with the cattle on feed on Friday being somewhat friendly. But I think the marketplace anticipated that. Cattle traded really strong on Friday. So just a little blip in the radar for cattle today. And hogs, they're finding some great technical support after the big drop down at the 9-day exponential moving average. And we're actually able to close up a little stronger on the day.
All right. Well, Jason, is there anything else that our producers need to be thinking about here, or what the markets might be watching in the coming days, or just basically on announcements that we may see on different topics?
We have a lot of volatility in this marketplace. So we could see beans up 50 cents, beans down 50 cents. Nobody has any idea. So my biggest suggestion is if you have some old crop or new crop bushels remaining, look to put some pricing target orders in. And that way, if we have a nice update, kind of like we did on the beans today, you're not going to miss those and be happy you got something priced.
All right, Jason, we'll have those conversations. What's the best way to get that ball rolling with agmarket.net?
The best way to get that ball rolling is to go check us out at eggmarket.net and then click on one of our profiles and reach out to us. We would be more than happy to speak with you.
All right, Jason Meyer's been with us here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. Jason, thanks so much for the insight. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Dustin. Everybody stay warm out there.